Welcome to Heavenly Angels. So it's nice to do a tour for you on this Saturday morning when the kiddies aren't here. So to the right, when you come into the daycare, we have a closet here, and in this closet, I keep all types of supplies. So toilet tissue, hand sanitizer, Pampers, baby wipes, extra baby wipes that we use specifically for the daycare, and some extra sheets. And also, the same closet we use to store the mats. And of course, I have some extra storage area for some paints and different supplies that we use. And to the left, when the parents come in with the children, the shoes come off and they go on this little tray here. To the right here, we have our bathroom. And in the bathroom, it's just a standard bathroom, but we have toilet tissue, paper towels, soap for the children to wash their hands. And then I also keep a first aid kit in the bathroom, as well as some extra tissue and some sanitizing disinfectant wipes. And to the right here is basically our compliance history with the state. And what we keep here is fire drills, shelter-in-place logs, emergency plans, things like that. And to the right here, I keep an extra policy handbook on hand in case a parent has a question about a policy and I can't remember exactly what the policy is for some reason. And also, in this folder here, we keep the certificates for the staff, medical certificates, CPR certificates, so that when the state comes in, everything is right at hand. So here we have a playpen that we have set aside. We have one infant at the time, so her playpen is here. So usually during the day, if she needs some quiet time, she can lay in her playpen and get some sleep while the other kids are busy running around. So here we keep a little bag of things that she can use while she's in her playpen if she wants to play. So these are basically supplies that she uses, a little water play fun and things like that. And then here, whenever someone comes in to visit the daycare, whether they're coming looking for childcare, if it's the state that comes in, anybody that comes in, Verizon, anybody that comes in, they have to sign the visitor's log. And here on this wall is our license for daycare, and here is our Department of Labor certificate. Okay, so this area here, we kind of use at the end of the day, and we kind of have a theme going on, which is a jungle theme, which you can see here. We have our little lion and our little panda bear. And so it's a lot of fun for the children. They love animals, they love this area. So usually at the end of the day, when they're preparing to go home, what we usually do is there's probably about 2 of them leaving at a time, so they get dressed and then they're sitting here and waiting for the parents. So I have all type of books here for them. They have stuffed animals, they have puzzles. They love this noise maker, which is great for hand and eye coordination. We have puzzles here. We also have another type of puzzles, which are phone puzzles. So everything here, we're trying to teach them. They're having fun, but they're learning. They're engaged in learning activities. This one here is your alphabet. So it's a lot of fun to watch them start out and not know how to do some of these things and then end up doing it. Here we have some Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads, and also some count and manipulative. So it's just little items to keep them busy until their parents pick them up. Here I have tablets for the children, so sometimes they can look at the tablet, some educational programs while they're waiting for the parents as well. When the parents come in the morning, they usually come in, take off the children's shoes, and then they come here, and we have an app here where they sign their child in. Okay, so they sign their children in, they clock them in, and then they take off their clothing, and each child has their own cubby. So they take off their clothing. The children that have book bags, they take off their book bags and they place them here. Okay, and as you can see, we do have a security system, so We can keep the doors locked and I can kind of see who's outside even if it's dark outside. And here we're keeping up with our theme. We have our giraffe. I keep a copy of the vacation schedule here because parents tend to forget. And Miss Wilson, are you closed tomorrow? Are you open? You know, so I keep a copy here so that the parents are always aware of the days that we're closed and open. Okay. And here we have our zebra head. And then these are really great because they provide some storage for us. So we just keep little things here. Sometimes we put wipes in here. We have a general universal box of wipes that we use for all the children in the daycare. So these we usually keep up here. I also keep business cards here. So parents sometimes want to refer to daycare and they'll say, Ms. Wilson, do you have a business card? The cards are always here for the parents to see. Okay, so our next room here that I'm going to show you, this here, as we come forward, this is our kitchen area. Very basic. You can see the baby's playpen there where we feed her. And this here is another room that we have. This is our playroom. So the kids love when playtime comes as they come on in here. As you can see, we do art and crafts weekly. So we were doing penguins and the letter P, and so this is some of the art projects that we have up on display. Okay, so when we come into this room here, right to my left is where we keep our supplies. So we try to be very organized so that when we're putting projects together, we kind of have everything we need. So I keep everything that we need for art and crafts. We have some paints here. I mean, little things, googly eyes, little sequins, little buttons, cotton balls, your standard things, glitter, letters, things like that. I always keep crayons on hand. And then we have glue so the little fingers can learn and they learn to pour their own glue. Oops. And so then we keep some paints here. And then here, again, it's just some more supplies. We tend to use shaving cream for some projects. There's some more glitter here. And then, you know, we have some more storage and stuff here. And here we have our Play-Doh Activity. So they love Play-Doh. So we tend to use a lot of Play-Doh and replace a lot of Play-Doh quite often. This is our teacher's box. So we keep our tape, hole puncher, things like that that we particularly need. And I always keep a first aid kit in the playroom as well in case a child falls and gets a little neck or bruise or something like that. So this area here is basically our things that go. So they have all kinds of push and go. This is like one of their favorites. It's like a toy. It has the magnet where it lifts. It's a little crane. That's one of their favorites. And here is their train tracks, which they love. We have loads of trains because they absolutely love to play with the trains, blocks, trucks. Anything that goes is pretty much in this area. So if you see here, we do bulletin boards. A lot of them are season appropriate. This was one of our art and craft projects when the weather started getting cold, so they did their own hot cocoa thing, and we actually used real marshmallows, which they enjoyed because they was able to eat the marshmallows as they did the project. Here we have our birthday chart, you know, because we constantly review the children's birthdays with them and things like that. So this is the birthday chart. And this area here is for our Legos. So this is another area. Children can never get enough of Legos. So as you can see, we keep a good supply of Legos here. So here, winter time is coming. So this board will probably be up January, February. And as you can see, another art and craft project where they did their snowmen. We just did some snowflakes with glue. And again, buttons, just using the art and craft supplies that we have here. Okay, this little bouncy is from Mila, which is our baby. So when she's around, we move things around for her so that she can be a part of the action as well. So this here is an exit that we have that lets out into our backyard, which I'm not going to show you this morning because it's really cold out. So when we come over to this area here, this is our housekeeping area. So anything dealing with housekeeping. So here they have furniture, all types of little furniture to play with. They have some move and go things as well. They have some dress up hats. We have some little dolls here that they like to play with, figures. Here we have all kinds of phones and things like that so they can act like they're talking on the phone. Here we have our doctor's bag, which has a stethoscope in it and some scissors and a pad and a clip-on so they can pretend to be a doctor. Here we keep our dolls so they can pull the dolls out. They play with the dolls, as we know, little girls and sometimes little boys like to play with dolls as well. Okay, up here is another area that we are able to supply things because you never have enough storage. So up here we keep supplies, and just in case, as you can see, we have tables around, so sometimes children will be playing and they'll say, oh, Miss Wilson, can we color? Can I do some coloring? So I always keep paper and stuff available for them in all different areas, okay? So here is their dress up center. So they have everything from policemen, firemen, document stuff, and so lots of dress up clothes for them. Here they have their ironing board with their iron that they play with. They have a vacuum cleaner. They have a carrier for the dolls. And then a bunch of little houses and stuff like that for them to play with. Often you find them here making, preparing lunch, having tea, having a good time. So this is a little table that they sit to sometimes when they're playing over here. Here is another bulletin board that we're doing, and as you can see, we're in the process of doing it. So we're not quite finished, but when it's all said and done, every child will have their photo up as an angel in the snow. So this is another board that will be up January and February. Okay, so this area here is our kitchen area. So as you can see, they have their refrigerator, their sink, their cabinetry, and their stove. So pretty much the same things we do in the kitchen at home, they get to do here as well, okay? So again, we have another house here for them. We have a lot of these little houses because it's really good for pretend play for children, okay? Here's a shopping cart that they have that they love to play with. They don't only put baby dolls in here. Sometimes they put all the food in here. They just have this shopping cart goes around and around and around. Okay, so this area here is one of my favorite areas, and this is our science area. And this area here, the children get to explore. We change it out from time to time. Right now, they're dealing with creatures and iggly wiggly things. One of the children absolutely loves dinosaurs, so we make sure that we have dinosaurs here. And in this science area, they have a plant, and this is actually a real plant. So we water the plant so that they learn about plants and how plants grow. And also this is real dirt, so the children get to dig and scavenger hunt. And they have magnifying glasses where they get to look at the animals and stuff through the magnifying glasses. This is one of my favorite areas here, okay? So we have all different type of animals here for them. We have magnifying glasses, farm animals, all different type of animals are in this area as well. So if you also look, I try to, even though it's a play area, I've used every moment that I can to do a lesson plan. So sometimes they'll be playing and I'll say, can everybody tell me what this letter is? Can you tell me what this letter is? And then when it's time for them to get up and start cleaning up, I point to the stop sign and they know it's time for us to stop what we're doing and start to clean up. So last but not least, we have this section here because I believe in children having some open space, but not too much open space where they're allowed to run around and get into trouble and get into accidents. So you want to give them some place to run, not to run, but you want to give them some place that they can move around a bit. So they have this area, they have this area. And here, as you can see, there's all different type of gadgets. This here's the pigs that they absolutely love. I don't care how old they are. They constantly take these coins out and they put them back inside the pig. It helps them with counting. These are little laptops that we have that actually work, that do letters and numbers with them. This here is yours. This is a really old toy, but they absolutely love to play with it. We have a clock here, which you should always have a clock around. We're always exposing them to numbers and counting. And then here is just a manipulative that they take the shapes out and they put them in and out, and it teaches them about shapes and things like that. And then also they have their piano for our little musicians that love to play. So we have that. Okay, so I think that I have shown you most of our play area. Okay, so now we're going to head on into another classroom that we have. So this area here, when you come into the daycare, this door is to the right. And when we start our day in this room, okay? So the children normally come in here, and we do some type of table activity with them or whatever to get our day started. But of course they start out, they're gonna have their breakfast before our day begins. And they have their breakfast in these areas here. So we then start our day with circle time, and this is where all the learning and action occurs. So we have to the right, we have our alphabet center here, and this is great. This is a great tool to have. So when we're teaching the children about letters and sounds of letters, and they're starting to learn to read, this is an excellent item to have. So we absolutely use this, especially for our 4- and 5-year-old children. Whatever letter and number that we're working on for the week, we usually have it posted here, okay? So then in the mornings, one of the first things we do is we do our calendar circle time. So we start out, we have patterns, we do a different pattern every single month. So this month it's red, yellow, so it's teaching them about patterns. We talk about how the weather feels, we talk about the month and the season, and we do that every single day. Again, we have Mila seat, because Mila comes wherever we are, our baby travels with us. So we have a number chart here because of course we want to teach our children to count in tens and to count to 100. And the goal is that when they leave here and they're ready for kindergarten, that they will have all of this down pat. So here we have our music, because we definitely do music time, we do circle time, and we have this here is where we kind of keep our classwork. For the week, we usually line everything up so we know what we're going to give the children for the week. So we keep it here. Here, we always have flat flashcards on deck in case we want to do some learning with flashcards, which is teaching the basic skills. And these are also used for our school age as well. And then these are just for some storage. As you can see, we have crayons, we have markers, because at any given time, the children are saying, "Miss Wilson, can I color? Can I paint a picture for mommy?" Here we have all different types of games and things we use. Memory is one of their favorite games. And then we have things that we use for counting, pattern building, all sorts of things. We have magnets that we use where the children put, like if this for instance goes on the magnet board, and they are able to put the magnets on the letter P. And then we have all kinds of puzzles. We have our sight words, and so on and so forth. And here we have our blackboard and our eraser board. And this board we also use when we're doing felt stories, which is one of the children's favorite things to do. So we are often doing a felt story for the children. This here is our library area. We change the books out every month so they're not constantly looking at the same books. And this here, anytime a child needs some quiet time, this is a perfect place for them to come and sit and look at their books. This is their little cozy corner where they come and they sit sometimes and grab a book, and you'll see them laying down. Also, we have all of our shapes, and these are all of the shapes that we teach our children. We have our alphabet chart, which we review in the mornings along with our shapes and our colors. Okay, this is their music box. So whenever we start music time, they go and they grab some instruments. And again, this area is a multi-purpose space. So we do our artwork and our projects and our crafts. We use, these are the children's smarts so that their clothing doesn't get destroyed with the paint. And then we have some supplies and stuff that we keep here. So I said Play-Doh is a big thing for children. So we have some more Play-Doh here that we keep under here. And we have the toys that they can use to help with the Play-Doh. We have some sponges for painting as well here. And we also have more puzzles. You never have enough puzzles, okay? And there's always crayons available for the children to color. This is our mailbox. So when we want to mail letters off to our parents and tell them how good we behaved ourselves today. And then we have another manipulative toy. And then we have some books for the school age, because the school age, once they finish their homework, they have to read at least 20 minutes a day. And then this is another area that the children can use when they want to sit down and read a book and that sort of thing. Not least, this is the kitchen area where we prepare meals. And when the school-age children come in, they come into this area here. And as you can see, they have pencils, crayons, scissors, any supplies that they may need to complete their homework. And they have their snack, they come in, and this is the area that they snack in as well. So that completes the tour. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.